Okay, so good morning everyone and welcome to the session on your data structures. So today we are going to discuss a new topic here, something we call it as queues. Okay, in the previous session, we have actually discussed about something called as stacks, right? Actually, your unit 3 comprises of two different things here, something called as stacks and queues. So in the till the previous session, we were actually discussing about something called as stacks. So in the stacks, we discussed about like how we can represent. So what are the different operations we can perform in stack that we have seen, and after that we have seen what how we can represent stacks. So we can represent a stack either using arrays or we have used something called as linked list concept in order to represent, right? So using these concepts, we have represented stack. And what are the different operations we have seen here is something like as push. We have discussed about pop, then we discussed about something called as peak and how these operations can be applied, and we have seen with respect to it. Apart from that, we have also discussed about the various applications that we do have with respect to your stack. So what are the applications we have seen is something like, converting infix expression to a prefix, then converting from infix to postfix, and apart from that, we also have discussed about something called as reversing a list. And then we have seen related to parenthesis. So parenthesis checker. So all these things we have actually discussed in the previous session, where we have seen how we can use tags in order to perform these particular operations. That is what we have actually discussed here in this particular thing. Now, the next topic, what we are going to discuss here is something we call it as queues. Okay, queue is nothing but if you ask me here, queue, what do you mean by queue? The best example for this is people standing in a queue for taking a ticket or a railway ticket. The best example for this, what we can give is a railway ticket. People standing in a queue for getting a railway ticket, or it can be any kind of ticket, like not only railway ticket, it can be your bus ticket, or something like you people are standing in a queue in order to get something like as a movie ticket. Yeah, people are standing in front of Inox and waiting for your turn to get it. Now, what is the best part of this particular thing is whenever you people are standing in a queue, is that whoever is present in the first, he will be the one who will be getting the ticket first, right? That is what we call it as queue. So whoever is standing in the queue first, whoever the first person who entered this particular queue, he's the one who will be getting the ticket first. That is what comes under here queue. This is not like stack. What did we discuss in stack? Whoever is entering first will be the last who will be coming out. So that's why it is called as philo, first in last out. But in queue the scenario is something different. Whoever is going to enter first into this, he will be the first person who will be coming out of this particular thing. Okay, so whoever is actually standing in the queue first, he will be the first who will be getting that particular queue. So that is what this indirectly what it means to say is nothing but standing in a line, and in the line whoever is coming first, he will be served first, and later on whoever is coming last, he will be served last. So coming to the content part here in this particular session, we are going to discuss about something called as introduction part of it. Then we'll discuss what are the different operations we can perform on that. And then we will see the array representation of this particular queue. So well, these are the parts what we are going to discuss in this particular session. So operations are similar to one what we have discussed in something called as your what we call your stack applications what we have. So that applications we are going to, that are the operations we are going to see here. Apart from that, we have array representation. Well, we do have linked representation also, but in this we'll be discussing only array representation. So going ahead here, so if you see here, queues are nothing but we basically call it as a linear data structures. I think you people already, I already explained you people, right? So data structures can be classified as linear, or we can also classify as non-linear. Okay, so the data structures can be basically classified as linear and non-linear data structures. If you ask me related to linear data structures here, so everything whatever we are discussing till now, till today, whatever we have discussed, all those comes under your linear data structures, something called as arrays. Then we discussed about something called as linked list. So in linked list, you know what are the different categories we are having, right? We have something called a single linker list. We have double linker list. Then we have something called a circular linker list. Then circular double linker list. All those comes under linear data structures. Apart from that, now whatever we are discussing in this unit, something called as stacks and something called as queues. All these things comes under your linear data structures. Remember that. Why? Because the elements whatever we are storing into the data, we are storing it in a sequential manner, one after another. That's why it is called linear. Then sir, what about non-linear data structure in this case? So non-linear in the sense something like if people are using graphs, you're using graphs in order to represent the data elements. Apart from the graphs, if you're using some other kind of things is nothing but like trees. So all these graphs and trees will be coming under non-linear data structures. Non-linear data structure. Why? Because we will not be representing them in a linear fashion. Rather, it will be something like this. It will be something like this we are going to represent. So you can see this is not linear. When we can say a particular thing is linear, when you're storing the elements in this way, like 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this is what we call it as linear representation. But what you people are seeing here, this is a non-linear. There is no constraint or no systematic way how we people are going to store this element. So this is what comes here. Also, we have certain patterns with respect to this. We will discuss them coming. So third and fourth unit is purely related to your, I mean, fourth and fifth unit is purely related to your non-linear data structures. Okay. So till now, till third unit, whatever we have discussed is purely based on your linear data structures. So let's going ahead with respect to this. If you see here, if the queues here in this particular thing, what is saying is that whenever in a queue you are inserting, okay, let me show, get me the points here, then I'll explain one by one. So if you see here what is saying in the queue, whenever you wanted to insert an element in, so whichever the element is inserted, for example, element is inserted in the first position, that will be the first element which will be served first. Then only the remaining elements will be present in the queue. For example, array representation. Suppose here I am inserting 10, 20, 30, 40. So this is 0, 1, 2. This is array representation I'm using. Okay, this is an array A. And within this I'm storing. So here earlier in the stack, what did I tell you in stack? So this is the first element. So this will be the last which will be coming out. And this is the last element we have inserted. This will be the first we'll be removing it. But whereas coming to queue, the process is different. The process here is whichever the element you have inserted in the beginning, only that element will be served first. For example, here 10 is the element which is inserted beginning. So first means we will be serving this particular element in this particular location, and then we'll go to the next one, then next, and then next. Not like stack. Stack means first we will removing it. Suppose you want to remove. So here, for example, if you are inserting it, so for example, this is the way we have inserted it. Now, if I wanted to remove the element, so this is a queue I'm talking about here. So in the queue, what did we am saying is, so if you want to remove an element, you have to remove the element from the beginning. So first element, whatever you inserted will be the first element which will be removed here. What is the first element I have inserted here? 10. So this 10 will be removed first. Then I will be going to 20, then 30, and then 40. But in case if I ask you with respect to stacks, what about stacks here? 10, 20, 30, and 40. So if I ask you about stack in this particular location, which one is the first element which is inserted? 10. Second element is 20 and 30 and 40. But if I ask you which one is the element which will be deleted first, you will be saying that 40 is the one, because the last element which is inserted will be the first element we are going to remove it. This is with respect to stacks. But whereas coming to queues, whichever element is inserted first will be the first element that will be deleted from here in this particular scenario. So this is what you people have to remember. In queue, whoever is standing in the first will be the first, will be removing it. So here are some of the examples you people can see. So like people moving on an in an escalator. So escalator is nothing but like this is a lift where the people will be moving. So you know that in an escalator, so what happens, whichever the person who is standing, we will be inserting first will be the first who will be coming out of that particular thing. Much more better example what I can give here is something like people waiting for a bus. They will be standing in a line. So when the bus arrives, the first person who is standing in that particular line will be the first person who will be getting into that particular bus. So means whoever is coming first, he is the one who will be served first. Okay. So remaining examples are similar to the one which I have explained it. Something like you people are standing in front of a cinema hall. okay, ticket counter, and you're standing in front of the ticket counter and you're waiting for your turn to get. So whoever might be present in front of you, he will be first served first. Then if you're the second person within the line, you will be second, you will be served second. So if 10 people are there, means the 10th person will be served after the first 9 people have been served. Then only the 10th people will be served there in that particular thing. So that comes under here in this particular. Now, another one is a convenient belt. This is something similar to the one which we see in our airport here. So in the airport, you know, the luggages will be placed here. So one after another. So whichever the bag is first placed onto the conveyor belt, that will be the first which will be coming out. So based on this particular scenario, since whichever is inserted first will be the first to be served here, means first in. So whoever is entering first, he is the first who is going to come out. So based on that, we have another terminology for this particular queues. We call it as FIFO. FIFO is nothing but first in, first out. Okay. In stag, when we were talking about stag here, we said stag is nothing but philo, means first in, last out. So whichever is element inserted in the beginning or the first will be the last element to come out. But whereas coming to queues, we call it as something called as FIFO, means whichever is element is inserted first will be the first element which will be coming out of it. That's why we call it as a FILO, or we can also call it as LILO, LILO, but mostly we use the terminology FIFO here when compared to LILO. LILO is nothing but last in, last out. So in the queue, whoever is coming in the last, he will be the last who will be served here. So mostly we'll use the terminology, something we call it as FIFO. And in stacks, we call it as FILO. Please do remember it. Okay. So it means the element that is inserted in the first will be the first one to take out, as I told you. So whichever element is inserted in the last, that will be last element that will be taken out from this particular thing. Okay. Okay. So the system has got hanged up. Yeah. So coming to queues here in this particular thing, like in the stacks, we discussed it that every element will be inserted and deleted from the top of the variable, okay, top of that particular array, and that is represented with a variable called as stack. When you talk about stack here, so we use a terminology called something called as a top. This is a variable, pointer variable, right? We were using a pointer variable top, and using this particular variable, we will be inserting an element and we will be deleting a particular element. So from one end, okay, we will be performing insertion and we'll be performing deletion. Same way, coming to queues also here in this particular scenario, we are having two ends here. We are having two different pointer variables. We use it. We use two pointer variables in this particular scenario. What are the pointer variables we have here is rear and front. Remember this. So every queue, whenever you are representing, let us suppose this is a queue I'm representing here. So every queue, for example, this is an array representation of a queue. I'm calling it as queue. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So whenever you're representing a queue here, so the front and rear. So initially, the front and rear will be pointing to this particular location. Well, basically front and rear initially pointing to -1. And whenever an element is inserted, the front and rear will be placing to this particular location, that is position number 0. Okay, let us suppose 20. So rear is equal to 0, front is equal to 0. Now here, this is what you people have to keep in mind. Now after this, whenever you people are trying to insert an element, now here you will be incrementing the rear. Okay, you will be incrementing the rate. Let us suppose I want to insert the element 20. So here 20 will come. Then I will be incrementing first rear. So rear will be pointing to the location called as 1. And then I will be inserting the value 20. Suppose after this I want to insert the next element is 30. First I will increment the value of rear by 1. So what is the rear value here? We have 1. So when I'm incrementing it by 1, so rear value becomes rear plus plus incrementing. So that is nothing but it will become 3. So sorry, 2. Initially it is pointing to 1 now. So 1 plus 1 is how much? 2. So it will come here. So right now the rear will be pointing. So this particular rear will be pointing to this particular location. And now I will be inserting this value 30 into this particular queue. So remember, now rear is present where? Here. Front will always be pointing to the front one. Remember that. Front will always be pointing to the first location. What is the use of that? I will explain it. Don't worry. Now, let us suppose next element which I wanted to insert here is something called as 40. So what I have to do? What did I tell you? So increment rare. So this time 2 plus 1 is how much? 3. So this time rare will be pointing to this particular location, rare. And what is the value I want to insert here? 40. So this will be going in this particular scenario. Okay. But here, when you wanted to delete an element, now I wanted to delete the element. And what did I tell you in the queue? Whichever element is inserted first will be the first element that will be deleted. Whichever the element I have inserted first will be the first element that will be deleted here. So what is the element which I have inserted here? First 10. So this element has to be deleted. How to delete is nothing but simple. You have to increment front. Okay, you have to increment front means you will be removing this value and you will increment this particular variable something called as front. So I want to delete first 10. So I have removed 10 here. Now when I have removed 10, front will be incremented to this particular location. So front is right now pointing to the index 1. So next element which I want to delete here, which is the next element that has come up here, we know that 20. So 20 is the one. So where is 20 pointed by which particular variable? Here front. So I will be removing this. And once it is deleted, this front will be incremented. It will point to the next position which is filled. That is this one. So the next element which I have to delete here is 30. So front will be, it will delete this element and this front will be incremented to this particular location front. And it will determine the values there. It is there. Then it will be removing this. And this front will be incremented forward. This is the way how exactly this means. Why we are using two variables in this particular scenario here is nothing but one variable used to delete the elements and another variable is used to insert the element. So which variable is used to delete here is nothing but front. Front is the variable which is used for deleting the elements. Remember that. Deleting the elements is done using this particular. Oh, sorry. It usually comes during this time. Yeah, so deleting the elements. Front is a variable which we use for deleting the element. Then what about rare? Now rare is the variable which we use for inserting the elements. Remember that. Inserting the elements. Rare is the variable which we use for inserting the elements. Front is the variable which is used for deleting the elements. Now here initially in the beginning, front and rare will be initially equal to null. Null in the sense nothing but -1. Once we start inserting the element, these both will be pointing initially, both will be pointing to 0. So front equal to rare equal to 0 when first element is inserted. And after that, whenever you want to insert a new element, this rare will be incremented and then we'll keep on adding the elements. But whenever I want to delete the elements, after deleting an element, this front will be incremented and the process will go on. I will explain with the help of a code so that you people can understand and easily. Okay. I'll also show you present here. So rear and front are the pointer variables as I stated. So now queues can be implemented either using. So I think you people know, right? In what way we can implement this particular queues? We can implement using arrays. That is a static implementation and linked list. So linked list is a dynamic implementation. Now this is a conceptual view which I wanted to show you. Now let us suppose I want to add an element. Remember this. I hope this will help you out in understanding. Front of the queue. So this is the first person who came into the queue first. This is the second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person. So whenever we want to insert this, suppose now the sixth person is coming up here. So whenever I want to insert into this particular queue, sixth person, I will do it using rare. You can see a new element is added to the rare of the queue. Rare in the sense back. So back of the queue. So here the sixth person should stand after fifth person. So definitely I'm representing that with a pointer variable rare. And now let us suppose if I want to delete the element means I had to serve this particular person. So who is the first person who I had to serve here? Obviously the one who is standing in the position number 1. So I had to serve this means I had to remove this from this particular queue. So what I had to do, I have to use this particular variable front. I had to use this particular variable front in order to perform it. See, Element is removed from the front of the queue. So this is the element which we have removed it, and you can see this person. So this is your second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person, sixth person, and this is the first person. I have removed it. But once when I'm removing this person from the queue, this person becomes to the first position, second position. Okay, okay, no. That will be a confusion here again for you people. Just remember like this. So first person I removed, he's the second person, third person, fourth person, fifth, and this is your sixth person. So whenever you want to remove an element, whenever you want to remove an element, removing will be done from the front. Okay, so front will be incremented. So that is what I'm saying here, this one. So 10, 20, 30, 40. So front will be present here and rear will be present here. Suppose you want to insert a new element 50. First I will be incrementing rear. So rear will come here and then I will be inserting 50. Suppose I want to delete an element from this, so deletion can be done only from the first, because whoever has come first, that only element only we have to serve. So simply what I will do, I will simply remove the first element which is there, that is 50. And then what I have to do, I will be I will be incrementing this particular front pointer. So front will be coming to this particular location. And this way it will be keep on incrementing and keep on decrementing. Okay. This is a way how exactly. So I hope you people have understood what exactly I mean to say exactly in this particular scenario. So only thing you people have to remember here is whenever you are going to insert the elements within a queue, you have to insert at the rear, means backside. And whenever you want to delete an element from the queue, you have to do it from the front. So this element is removed. This is one who is present in the queue in the front. I removed it. Then who is present a new front? Who is the next element that is present here? In this case, I said 20, like 10, 20. So when I remove 10, 20 is present. So this is present at the front. So here this person is present. Right now he's the second person, but right now he is the frontmost person who is present in the queue, because I have already removed this. Now this has to be removed. Then this person, that is person number 3, becomes front. Then when I remove this, then again the front will be coming here. This way it will be actually getting incremented. Okay. So I hope you people have understood. So based on this, we will be performing the other things. Yeah. So what are the different operations we can perform on this particular queue is nothing but, so here you can see. So these are some of the conditions which you people have to keep in mind when you're performing the operation. So what is that here is nothing but if front is equal to rear equal to -1, then queue is empty. That is what I told you, right? This is an array. So array representation is easy. So I'm representing this. Okay, A. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially, there are no elements are present. So front and rear are pointing to -1. So index starts from 0. So I'm representing as minus, means there are no elements that have been inserted here. That means that this particular queue this is empty. But if rear is equal to max -1, why means this array will have certain limitation, right? You will be defining initially a max value, define max equal to 10. So how many elements I can insert within that particular program is maximum 10 elements, not more than that. So whenever you're trying to insert an element, first you have to check this condition. What is that? If rear is equal to man, because remember front will be here, but rear is the one which will be incremented like this. So we have to check whether rear is actually equal to max -1 or not. If it is not max -1, then you can insert an element. But in case if rear is equal to max -1, you have to simply say queue is full. And I think you people might have understood why max -1. What is the total elements maximum? I can take 10. But in the arrays, you know that the index is represented from 0. So definitely when you're representing from 0, so it will be going like this, and finally it will stop. So total 10 elements I can insert, but since I'm representing them from 0, so definitely the total number of elements will be 10, but I'll be stopping the index at 9. So that's why rear equal to max -1. So 0 to 9 elements. So that is total 10 elements I can insert. That's what he exactly doing exactly in this particular. Okay. So I hope you get it. So let's see. What are the different operations we can see? This is a tabular representation I've seen here represented. Same thing. First one is we call it as NQ. NQ is nothing but adding an element into the rear of the queue. Remember, rear. So adding is nothing but that something we call it as insertion, right? So I want to insert an element. So here we have a terminology. Till now, we did not use any kind of terminology with respect to your stack, neither for your linked list. But here coming to the queues, we have a terminology called as NQ. NQ is nothing but insertion. inserting an element into the queue, where we have to insert rare of a queue. Same if you want to delete a element, so enqueue is nothing but inserting. Dequeue is nothing but, here we call it as a dequeue is nothing but removing an element from the front of the queue, means deleting an element from the queue. D is nothing but deleting an element from the queue. So that is nothing but removing an element from where we have to remove from the front of the queue. So in front of it, so like something we have like this. So 10, 20, 30, 40. We want to insert an element. So NQ we are going to do where rare. So rare is right now here. So this will be incremented. It will come here. Then you'll be inserting here 50. And what whenever you want to delete, front is pointing at this particular location. So remove an element from the front. So you want to delete 10 here. I mean 10 in this case. So you'll be simply removing 10 here. And then you will be incrementing this particular front to this particular location. So it is coming to this point. That is what is saying. After that peak, I think you people already know about peak. Okay, we already discussed a lot of time on our stacks. So peak is used to represent the topmost element. So if you consider this array, what is the topmost element present here right now? 20. So that 20 will be defined here. So examine the element at the front. So front is pointing right now to which element here? 20. So it will be displaying the element 20 here. Is empty is a function. This is an operation. Now this operation determines whether the queue is empty or not. In this, we are going to write this formula. Then either you are going to write this, it determines, or you will be, yeah. So it determines whether the queue is empty or not. How can we say, means this is a condition we can write within this function, and we can call this function anytime wherever we require it. Then we have another something called as size. Now this determines the elements present in the queue. If I wanted to know how many elements are present in the queue, I can use this function size. You can define as many functions you can, but mostly the main functions what we have with respect to this particular thing is nothing but here this one. Same thing, insertion, deletion, peak. Same is the operations what we are exactly applying in this particular scenario. Okay. And the last one, what you people are seeing here is something we call it as toString. Well, this will represent whatever the elements that are present in the queue in a string format. Okay, when something like 10, it will be representing as something 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But this is in a format of a string, not in a format of this will be in a format of a string, not in a format of something called as in what we call integer or something like that. String representation it will give you. Okay. So that comes under this, but mostly whatever the functions what we people are going to use here is nothing but enqueue, dequeue, and peak. These are the three what we are going to use. Enqueue is nothing but inserting, dequeue is nothing but deleting, and peak is nothing but displaying the first element that is present in the queue. So how I can we represent present queues is nothing but array representation. So I'm showing you the array representation in this particular scenario. So if you talk about array representation with respect to this particular queue, so here, as I told you, that queue will be having front and rear variables, right? That pointing to the positions from where the deletion insertion can be done, as I told you here. So here the array representation is something like this. This is array representation. Let us suppose that within an array, this is an array A. So within this, I'm already having some elements, 12, 9, 7, 18, 15. Now, if I ask you what are the total number of elements I can store in this, can you tell me? Yeah, it's very easy. You can see index is pointing from 0 and the maximum what we are pointing is 9. So 0 to 9 means what are the total elements which can be stored into this particular queue is nothing but 10 elements. Among them, 5 elements have been already inserted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 6 elements have already been inserted. So remaining how many more I can insert here is nothing but 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 elements I can insert it. Now let us suppose I want to insert a new element now. I wanted to insert a new element, something called as 45. So what I have to do, what did I tell you what I have to do? Whenever you want to delete an element from the queue, front has to be incremented. But whenever I want to delete an element, I insert an element into the queue, rear has to be incremented. So rear is right now pointing to which particular index 5. So when I'm incrementing rear, so then what will be the value of rear now? It will be something this 6, and there I'll be inserting the value. What is the value I have here in this? 45. This is the way. Okay, so after that, so let us suppose another value I wanted to insert. I want to insert another value, something called as 50. What I have to do, simply I have to increment the value of rear now. So rear will be again pointing. So rear will be coming to a location, something called as 7. and there I'll be inserting the variable something called as 50. Now this is the way the whole process actually takes place. Okay. Now here it is. You can see here rare has been incremented. Rare is pointing to the number index called as 6. And there I am storing the value. What is the value I'm storing here? 45. So value equal to 45 now. So that 45 I'm storing at this particular location. Now suppose I wanted to delete an element from the queue. How can I do it? I want to delete an element from this particular queue. What did I tell you? Whichever element has been inserted first will be the first element that will be deleted. Means what is the inserted element first here? What is the element we have inserted here? 12. That is present at the index 0. So this will be the one which will be removing it. So when we remove it, what we are going to do? Front will be incremented to this particular rotation once we are deleting this particular value. See here. So you can see here, what is the value that is present here in this 12. So that value I have deleted it. And once it is deleted, this front will be incremented to the index number 1. Now next, if I want to delete the second element here, the whatever the next element is present in the queue, so simply it will delete 9. And then this particular front will be incremented to this particular location. So this will be going. So always deletion will be done using a variable called as front, and always the insertion will be done using a variable called as rare. Remember this. So let's go ahead and see the working part of this. What are the operations we can perform here? Insertion, deletion, pick, and display. Now, if you talk about insertion here, it's very easy. So what same algorithm like your stack. So what is the first thing we people are going to do here is rare equal to max minus 1. So what you're doing here, you're just trying to find out whenever you want to insert an element, you want to see whether the space is available or not, whether we have exceeded the space or not. For example, I'm taking an array here of size 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So total 5 elements I can store. So what is the maximum value we have here? 5. So whenever, so initially front, suppose the first element came, I inserted here. So front is here, rare is here. Now next time I got an element something 20 which I want to insert it. But before inserting it, I will find out whether rare is equal to max minus 1 or not. 5 minus 1 is 4. Now rare is pointing to what? 0. Is 0 equal to 4? No, condition fail. What does that mean? That we do have empty spaces available in this and I can insert the element. So simply what is asking you to do is simply move over this and come to this particular location. But in case if rare is equal to 4 means, for example, you have inserted the elements 20, 30, 40, 50. So 4 is equal to 4. What is asking you to do? Simply say that overflow. What do you mean by overflow? There are no more spaces that are available in the array to insert the next element. So let us suppose 60. This element cannot be inserted into this array because this is already filled. That is what he means to say exactly in this if statement. Now, in case if the space is available like 10. So right now only one element is present and we are having 4 slots available. So the next element which I wanted to insert here is something called as 20. So what it's asking is if front is equal to -1 and rear is equal to -1, set front and rear equal to 0. This condition is used when we are inserting the first element, that is 10. Because when we were inserting front, I mean this particular element 10, then front is rear is equal to -1. Then what is asking me to do? Set front and rear equal to 0 and insert this element 10. Done. But in case if it is not, means front is already pointing to something called as 0. Front is pointing to 0, rear is also pointing to 0. Means I am going to insert a new element. So then else part has to be executed. Set rear equal to rear plus 1. Just increment. So what happens now? This particular rear will be coming to this particular location. That is index number 1. Then what I will do? Simply queue of rear. So this is a queue. So Q I am using here array name Q of rare. What is rare here? 1. So Q of 1 equal to number. What is the number here? 20. So Q of 1 I am storing the number here 20. And then after that what I'm doing, I will repeat the process until suppose I want to insert 30. I'll just again find out. So what is the value of rare right now? 1. Is 1 equal to 4? Condition fails. Means we do have space to store the elements. What I will be do? I'll check whether front and rear is equal to -1 or not. No, this condition is not there. Then simply rear equal to rear plus 1. Now this time, where exactly rear is pointing here? 1. So rear plus 1 means it will be pointing to 1 plus 1 is 2. So rear is coming to the empty space 2. What I have to do? Q of rear. So Q of rear. Rear is pointing to the index 2. So Q of 2 is equal to 30. I have just written a short form for this q. So q of 2 is equal to 30. So 30. So next time if you're getting another element, again the same process will be repeated, and this is the way how exactly you can perform it. Now this is a C code for that. This is a C code what we people are using here in this particular scenario. Oh, sorry. So if you see here in this particular thing, int number. So this is the number, this is a variable we have used for inserting the number. You will be giving that number and I'll check rare equal to max minus 1. This is a condition. If it is, then I have to say simply print overflow. Done. If not, front equal to minus 1. So and rare equal to minus 1. If both are equal to minus 1, this condition, what I have to do? Front equal to rare equal to 0. Set front rare equal to 0. Then q of rare equal to number. So first element I am inserting here. Else rare will be plus plus and q of rare equal to num. So let me explain this using this. Okay, forget about the first one what I have here. You just forgot about that. Let us suppose this is a queue I'm taking. So this is your 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many elements? So this is your queue. This is a queue. I mean, this is an array I'm taking and the name of that particular array is queue. So what I'm doing first insert this. So let us suppose I want to insert the first element is 10. So int number, enter the number to be inserted. What is the number? So num is equal to how much? 10. Now, if rare equal to max minus 1, so rare equal to max 1. Initially front and rare. So front I'm representing with F, rare I'm representing with R, okay, for simplicity. Now front is equal to initially minus 1, rare is equal to minus 1. Now he is checking the condition, rare equal to max minus 1. So how many elements I can insert here? 6 elements. 6 minus 1 is 5. So what is the value of rare here? Minus 1. So minus 1, that's what he is checking. Minus 1 equal to 5. Condition fails. So no condition of overflow here because there are spaces available in order to insert it. Simply the code will be skipping to else if. Now if front is equal to minus 1, what is the front value? Minus 1. True. And rare is equal to minus 1. Rare is also minus 1. True. So this is an AND operation I'm using, and you know that when both the conditions are true, the output is true. So condition is true. Insert into this particular thing, and then what we have to do, front equal to rare equal to 0. So I am setting f equal to r equal to 0. Means right now front is at this position, right is at this particular first slot. And then what I have to do, q of rare equal to 0. So q I'm going to represent in short q. So q of rare, what is the value of rare here? 0. So q of 0 equal to number. What is the number I have taken here? 10. So q of 0 equal to 10 means, yeah. I hope you people are getting it. Now what I have to do? Let's go ahead. Let's take another one now. I want to insert one more statement. I want to this time, this number, I want to change now. This time I want to insert another number called as 20. Same process. Number you got it here, 20. Now rare, what is the value of rare right now? 0. What about front? 0. Is rare equal to max minus 1? So 0 equal to 6 minus 1 is 5. No. So we do have spaces available. So this condition will not be executed. You'll come to this else if. Front equal to minus 1, but this time front is pointing to index 0. And so this condition fails, false. And then rare equal to minus 1. What is rare is pointing to 0, but he is representing, is it minus 1? No. This time both the condition fail and there is a and. Whenever you are having and condition, so both are false means the output is false, means this condition fails. Where we have to come? We have to come to this particular location, else part. What I have to do here, rare plus plus. Rare plus plus means right now rare is pointing to which number? 0. So rare plus plus is nothing but rare equal to rare plus 1. So what is the value of rare right now? 0. So 0 plus 1 is how much? 1. So simply rare you have incremented now. See, this rare is coming to this particular location. See, and then what you're doing, q of rare equal to number, q of what is the rare value we have right now? 1. So q of 1 is equal to what is the number we have? 20. So I'm placing it 20 here. And next time onwards, these two conditions will fail. Only this is the condition which will be executing and I'll be inserting 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay. So this is the way how exactly this entire program is going to work. Then we'll go for the next one. So what is the next one we do have after insertion? We have deletion. How to delete it? You know that deletion in the queue can be done only from the front. So only thing first you people have to check here is nothing but if front is equal to -1 or front is greater than rear, then simply you can say that. See, remember front will always be present at the back of a rear. But anytime if this front is crossing this rear, that means definitely there are no elements that are present in this particular location. So these are the two things. If front is equal to -1 or front is greater than rear, you can simply say that this particular thing is underflow. Means there are no elements that are present in the array to be deleted and there is a underflow condition. In case that is not the case, if this condition fails, simply come here, take out the value which you wanted to delete from the queue. For example, in this, what is the value I have to 10. So this is a value that is present. So queue of front is pointing to 0. What is the value? That value is equal to 10. I have removed that particular value now from this particular location. I have removed it. I have removed that particular value. So here we have 20 and 30. 30. So this I have removed it and set front equal to front plus 1. Right now front is at index 0. So front plus 1 means right now front will be pointing to the next element who is present in front of the queue. And when I will delete this, again the front will be incremented to the next element which is present. Rear will be present somewhere here. Suppose here I already have 40. So rear is right now pointing to. So I'll be incrementing front. Each time I am trying to delete an element, I'll be incrementing front here. Okay. So this is a C code for that. I will explain this also with the help of this one. So, oh, sorry. Yeah, deleting. So this is the one which I have the elements here. Let us suppose this is the array. This is a queue I'm having, which consists of letters 12, 19, 7, 18, 14, 36, and 45. Now I want to delete it. First, I'll take int value. Why I'm taking value? Whichever value I want to delete from this particular queue, that will be storing into this particular variable. Now, if front is equal to -1, right now front is present at this particular location. Front is at index 0. What about rear? Where is rear located here? Rear is present at index number 6. Now he's checking if front is equal to -1. So front is pointing to 0. Yeah, it is not equal to -1. This condition fails. Or is front is greater than rear? Front is pointing to number 0. So 0, sorry, 0 greater than rear. Rear is at this particular position 6. Is 0 greater than 6? No, both the conditions fail. Simply this if condition fails. So you'll be simply jumping to this particular location else. What I have to do? Value equal to Q of front. So value equal to Q of front. So front is pointing at which particular location here? You can see here 0. So Q of 0. What is the value which is present in Q of 0? 12. So value equal to 12. So you have dumped that value 12 into this particular variable. And after that, what I am doing here? Front plus plus. So when I'm doing front plus plus, what will happen? This particular front will be jumping to the next location. So this particulars. So automatically what happened? You can see this is ultimate. So I have removed that 12, stored into the variable, and I have incremented front. So right now the front is present at this index 1 and rear is present at this index 6. But if you see the 0th position here, the element is not present because I have removed it. And remember, whenever the front becomes greater than rear, after this we have to check this condition. If front becomes greater than rear, then simply you have to make both of them equal to -1. Means you will be bringing that. Means for if you see here, this particular location, you can see that rear is pointing to which particular location here. Here. Let us suppose I have deleted 12. Now I'm deleting 9. Where is front? Here. I'm deleting 7. Where is front? 18. Then again I want to delete it 14. Then again I wanted to delete it. So 16. Again I want to delete another element. So right now front is. So front is equal to rear. Front and rear are representing the index 6. I deleted it. Then again front is coming to this particular location. But you know that when front is coming to the index 7, rear is pointing to 6 and we know that rear is the variable which is used for inserting. Means the last element that we inserted is present in index 6. 7 doesn't consist of any element and we cannot delete any element from this. That's the reason we have checked the condition here, front greater than rear. Same way front greater than rear is there. What is asking? There are no elements are there. Bring this front and rear again to the back position. So front is equal to -1, rear equal to -1. So then what will happen here is front and rear will be coming back again. So there are no elements are present in this. All are removed. So again, front will be coming to -1, rear is equal to -1. So this is the step you people have to remember. Finally, you'll be returning the value whichever is deleted. This is the way how you people are going to perform the deletion operation. Very easy. Only front you have to keep on incrementing. Whenever you're deleting an element, increment the front. Whenever you're deleting an increment, front. Deleting an element, increment the front until. So you have to check the condition if front is greater than rear. So if your front is coming here, there are no elements are there. So front is equal to rear is equal to -1. This thing you people have to keep in mind. Remaining process is very, very easy. Okay. Next, we have something called as display. So if you ask me about display in this particular thing, so display is very easy. I'll just explain it. And with this, we'll stop it up. So if we talk about peak operation, means the first element which is present in the array, we have to represent here. First element means what is the first element present? How you can get it? Simply from this particular array, right? This is your front. This is your rear. So whichever is element present in the first, that will be displaying. So first we'll check the condition if front is equal to -1 or not. Same condition which we have discussed in deleting an operation. So if it is front is equal to -1 or front is greater than rear, we know that Q is empty. Simply you'll print the statement Q is empty and return -1. In case if it is not, mean there exists some elements present in this particular array, then what you have to do, simply return Q of front. So front is pointing to index 0. So Q, this is a Q. So Q of 0 consists of element 10. So front is pointing to the first element that is present here is front. Now let us suppose you people have you people have performed something called as deletion. You have removed this. Now front is pointing to which particular location here? 20. Now what you people are going to do? Q of front means Q of, so index number 1. So Q of 1. What is the value present in Q of 1? 20 is the one which is present in front of this particular array. This is the way how exactly this particular program executes. Now let's go ahead and display. This is a code for display. So int I, we'll be using it. Why we are using I think you people know that, because we have to display the elements line by line, like 10, 20, 30. So we need a iteration. So definitely you need a variable here. This is a variable I'm using. Now here again also we'll check the same condition what we have checked for this deletion. Peak is this, and even for display front is equal to -1 or front is greater than rear, simply Q will be empty. But in case this condition fails, come here. What is that? I equal to front. Obviously front is here, rear is here. So I equal to front, I less than equal to rear. So right, we have to print these elements 10, 20, 30, and means right from front till rear, I have to print the element. So I is equal to front. What is the value? What is the index? We have 0. So I is equal to 0. I less than equal to rear. So 0, 1, 2. What is the value of a rear here? 2. So 0 less than equal to 2. So simply Q of I. So Q of 0. What is the value we have? 10. After that, I will be incremented. I becomes 1. 1 is less than equal to 2. So Q of 1 equal to, what is the value we have in Q of 1? 20. That 20 will be displayed. After that, I value will be incremented. Now I will be becoming 2. 2 is less than equal to 2. Condition satisfied. So Q of 2 is equal to whatever the element. What we have 3t. And next I will be incremented. Now this time I becomes 3. 3 is less than equal to 2. Condition fails. You'll come out of it. And you have printed the statements 10, 20, and 30. So finally, what is the output you people are going to get here is 10, 20, 30. Okay. So this is the way how you people are going to execute this particular entire statements. So this is all we have for this particular session. I hope you people have enjoyed watching this and you have understood the concept here. If you have any doubts anytime, you people can just bring me up so that I can clarify your doubts. Okay, thank you. So this is all we have for today's session. Thank you for watching.